Hey everybody, I'm back with another pickup video focusing on games, movies, a little bit of toys. So I'm just going to jump right in. This is pretty much in chronological order of when I picked it up, and I'm going to start with a small handful and then turn around and pick some more up. So moving around a lot, that's why. So I think I got these last month GameStop. I got Spider-Man 3 for the PS3. I haven't played this yet. I didn't really like the second one that much because it was too open world-ish, and I think this one takes it a little bit further. And I'm not really sure if I would get much enjoyment out of this. I do want to get the PlayStation 2 version, and then get the other two games also for the PlayStation 2. I have them on Xbox, but I would like to get the trilogy on one console. So I got that, and that was actually kind of becoming a little harder to find lately, in my area at least. And they also had the collector's edition version of Spider-Man 3 for the PlayStation 3 that had a black cover, and it said it was a limited edition, but you know, what isn't a limited edition? Don't make everything forever. But that being said, it was something like $23 for it, and I didn't want to pay that much for it. The only difference is that you could use the new Goblin, and it wasn't worth the extra money just to play as the new Goblin in a game that I might not play at all. At the same trip, I also picked up one that I was looking for a while that actually has been becoming a little bit more scarce, and that is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Like I said in a previous video, before I left Tucson, this game on the PS3 is anyway, it used to be $17.99 used at GameStops, and then the Amazing Spider-Man movie started to get closer to its release date, and this game spiked up in price used, and it's stayed the same, $26.99 ever since. And I think that's really annoying and stupid, but I finally grabbed a copy of it, and I played only the tutorial, and it's pretty cool. It's actually a lot of fun to play so far as I have played, which is very little. But it's good. It has very good graphics, good voiceovers, some funny cameos, and good tight control. And I think I already mentioned that it has really good graphics. And it's definitely, so far it seems like a pretty good game. And one that I picked up on a whim right here is Warhammer 40K Space Marine. This was only about $8, and I am very glad that I picked this up. If you don't have this, go out and get it for the PS3 or the 360, whatever your console of choice is, because it's only $8 at GameStop used, and it's extremely good. This is a very fun game to play, very violent, really bloody. And it has great graphics, really good controls, a lot of melee combat. You can also shoot at things, but yeah, this is pretty cool. A lot of fun, and the multiplayer aspect was pretty fun too. And I had absolutely no problem getting into a game. I didn't have to sit around and wait. I was in a game almost as fast as I pushed the button to join a game that was active. I didn't have to sit around and wait for a thing to form, and that was pretty cool. So there's pretty much an active online component, which I'm not really a big fan of online gaming, but I did like, I had a good time playing with some other people. I just didn't have my headset turned on, so I wasn't able to hear what they were saying. They were probably calling me a fucking noob or something like that, but it doesn't really matter. I also recently fucked myself, played this game, and then shut up. And that is, of course, for those who know what I'm talking about, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Picked this up very recently. It's actually a lot of fun. It's not a rip-off, well, a direct rip-off, a complete rip-off of the Super Smash Brothers games. It is similar, yes, but it is different enough to not be considered a total rip-off. And also got it for the Vita. This is just the box, but since it is cross-platform, when you buy the PlayStation 3 version, you also get the Vita version as a download for free. And I just swiped the box from GameStop because, as you know, GameStop doesn't really keep boxes all the time. If you've bought games for the DS, you know that they just throw the boxes out and sell the game. So I have no compunction for basically essentially stealing from GameStop. It's an empty box. What are they going to give a shit about it? I also picked up this Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus. I have no idea about this game at all, what it is. I haven't played it yet. From what I understand, this is actually the third in a trilogy of Ratchet & Clank future games, so I will have to track down the previous two entries before I play this one. And I will let you know what I think. I also did, I picked up a hard copy of Infamous because from what I understand, the digital version, which I had, takes up a lot more hard drive space than the hard copy. So I did have an empty case for a while just for display purposes, but now I actually have a game in here. And this is in really good condition. It was only $4 and some change at GameStop, which is not a bad deal at all. Today I was with my in-laws who have been visiting here in Spokane with my wife and I, her parents. They've been up here with us for the last few days, and we went out we were going to go to the park, but we also stopped by a mall, and my mother-in-law decided to buy me a late birthday gift. My birthday is in February, so it's pretty late, but yeah, better late than never. And so I got this Spiderman Web of Shadows game, which looks really cool, and I look forward to playing this. I also want to get this on the PSP and the PlayStation 2. The PS2 and PSP versions are slightly different as far as what characters you encounter in it, and the game is a side-scroller, which is pretty cool. This is not the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions are, as you know, like a 3D sprawling type of action game. The older gen versions are side scrollers, which I thought is a pretty cool thing, so I'm going to try and track those down and grab them. And also today my wife bought me this copy of Infamous 2, and I should point out that in both cases of Infamous 1 and 2, I have not for the last year seen any copies of either of those games that didn't come in those shitty generic GameStop boxes that aren't, you know, the real cover. It's just that crappy printout with the GameStop logo on it and the generic artwork that they use for whatever. And yeah, so I was happy to find those individually, and also for quite cheap for those two games. There was a bundled version that has both games on them together, but those don't have instruction manuals. The original versions do come with printed manuals, which I kind of wanted to have the unique versions, the individual versions, to make my collection look larger. That's really the main reason why. I'll have duplicate boxes of games just to make my collection look bigger than it actually is. So moving on to some DVDs. I got this for my wife because she's a fan of this stuff. This is American Ghost Hunter. Let's see, this is Kalick and Buell, Ryan Buell and Chad Kalick. This is a documentary. It's a 2-disc special edition. You can only get this off of their website. And it was interesting. Not a particularly ball-gripping documentary, but I wasn't bored to tears by it. My wife really enjoys this type of stuff, and I have mentioned before that I'm a complete skeptic when it comes to that stuff, but I do have some friends that work in the paranormal investigative field, and they actually know some of these people that are on those TV shows, and they are members of TAPS, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they old friends of mine that I went to high school with, and I'm still in touch with them, and they're good guys. If you want to see some of their videos, their channel is Sagaps, S-A-G-A-P-S, and that is Sagaps Admin, and you can see some of their videos that they have on YouTube. I also picked up this Turtle Power documentary, The Definitive History of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know how definitive this is because it's not very long, and when we're talking about something that's about 30 years, a 90-minute documentary can't be that definitive or thorough. But it looks like it's pretty good. And it has a lot of interviews with guys from Mirage Studios, like Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, obviously. Those guys are going to be interviewed. It also interviews Ryan Brown, who created a lot of the action figures that were for the Playmates toy line. And he also has done a lot of his own stuff in the comic industry by himself. And so far, so good. And I also picked up this recently, is Godzilla vs. Biollante. This is the first time it's been available on DVD. I think it has a lot to do with the new movie that came out recently. I don't mind that this is a standard def because I have a lot of Godzilla movies on standard def, and that's how I watched them, you know, when I was a kid growing up. This one is more recent. It's from the late 80s, and I picked this one up fairly recently. And I actually used to have this on VHS, and the VHS was English dubbed only, but this one has pretty much any audio combinations that you could want. It's got English language, English subtitles with Japanese dialogue. It has the subtitles that match the original English dub, and some other special features. So that's a pretty cool and very thorough DVD of actually a pretty terrible Godzilla movie, to be perfectly honest. And not too long ago I picked up The Purge on Blu-ray. This is not very good, but you know, whatever, who cares. And Captain America, The Winter Soldier. I had a hard time keeping my eyes open when I was watching it because I guess sometimes I think I'm not tired, and I really want to watch this with my wife, and I end up dozing off and missing most of the movie, so I'm going to have to watch it again. which doesn't really bother me because that justifies the purchase, you know what I'm saying? Being able to watch it more than once. And also picked up the new Godzilla on Blu-ray. I did like this movie. We went to see it in the theater and enjoyed it a lot. I know that a lot of people really didn't like the movie for whatever reason, for whatever stupid reason, like there's not enough Godzilla in it. If you haven't watched a classic Godzilla movie, there is, you know, about 45 to 50 minutes of Japanese people smoking cigarettes and talking for the bulk of the movie, and then there's a couple of, you know, Godzilla moving around and smashing things and then fighting another monster, and then the movie's over. So if you're complaining about the lack of Godzilla in this movie, how about you watch one of the original ones and see how much you have to say about that then. I also picked up recently Transformers Age of Extinction. I haven't watched this one yet, and I don't know why I do this to myself, but here it is. Gonna have to suffer through it at some point. And last but not least, I picked up the Wolverine, which I watched it on HBO, but I had a hard time paying attention to it because I couldn't hear the dialogue very well. So I'll watch it on Blu-ray, since Blu-ray has really good audio, and this also has, you know, plenty of extras and stuff, which I kind of like that gimmick anyway. And this didn't look too bad. It was a lot better than the other Wolverine movie that came out prior to this, and this one does tie directly into Days of Future Past, which I will be picking up tomorrow probably. And at other points of being out and about, as usual, I tend to grab a Hot Wheels car if it's a monstrous one. Here's like one of the many repaints of Shark Cruiser here. I do love this this paint job on this mold here. I'm getting really tired of seeing Shark Cruiser, but this new paint job is actually a pretty cool one, yeah, I think. And I also grabbed this Knight Rider kit. I don't like this one so much because it has all this weird stuff. Like it has a spoiler that's open, and it's like an attack mode or something. It's not the standard basic looking kit, so I'll have to find one eventually. And I was surprised at the weird TV shows that they decided to license. Like I think one of them was Simon and Simon. Just weird stuff. Mattel is weird, but kit makes sense. And yeah, that's it. Those are my pickups, and that is for the last month, month and a half, up to today, with the infamous 2 and the Spiderman Web of Shadows. Sorry this ran a little long. I am a motor mouth, I know that. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank you guys that have subscribed. I just noticed that JCAU99 subbed to my channel, and I appreciate that a lot. So everybody, yes, thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, or if you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down, and leave a comment. Tell me if you like any of the stuff I grabbed, or if you think I'm an idiot. Whatever. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.